What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Kart 63. My name is Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by. Real quick, if you didn't mind hitting a like on the video, possibly subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And if you are new here, welcome. We like to talk about karts and parts and racing and theorem and all sorts of things. Anything that my pretty little head can come up with in regards to karting, kart racing, the physics of karts, all that stuff. I try and bring all that information and deliver it to you some way, somehow in video format. So this one kind of popped in my brain. I've seen this, you see this a lot at the local level, not so much big races, you know, money races, this and that, but it does occasionally happen. And I'm not picking on these people per se, but if your track rules allow it, it's fine. But I wanted to kind of bring this topic up as they, you know, maybe give a little understanding of what's going on. Chain popped off. Oh, my chain just popped off. I'm just going to go ahead and roll it back on. Well, first things first, there's a reason why your chain popped off. And all right, we're going to get into the reason here in a second. But what you see from the outside or behind the seat as one of your competitors, as the track, as somebody watching the race, is you fumbling around trying to get your chain back on. And I can tell you that you may get away with once that it stays on from there. But what you're doing is you're holding up the show, you know, you're putting wear and tear, you're running people out of fuel, you know, there's going to be probably a bigger issue to consider than, oh, my chain just popped off. I mean, it's possible that a rock got up in there and just kind of kicked it off type of thing, but what you're doing when you're on the infield holding up the, you know, everybody's running around on pace laps, getting annoyed with you, looking down like, dude, come on, you like... We have all been there. It sucks to break. I've had little clips on the side of my carburetor that are 25 cents pop off, and my throttle cable is no longer attached to my carbs anymore, and I was out of a race. I was pulled to the infield, kill the engine, get it off track, whatever it needs to be. We've all had those races where something has gone wrong. Now, your chain popped off. It isn't that it just popped off, all right? It just didn't boop. And then it's there has to be a reason, okay? First off, chain alignment. How well was your chain aligned? Was it, you know, are we looking at the clutch and the rear gear being slightly off, causing that diagonal fact? Is there wear going on your gears? That's another point. You know, did this misalignment cause wear to the gears? Are you paying attention to what your sprockets look like on your kart? Are you keeping them properly lubed? After every run, have you considered maybe spinning your rear axle, spraying it off with Shop Solve or brake clean or something like that, cleaning your chain, getting a nice fresh run of lubricant on there, WD-40. I like Maxima chain, is it chain wax? If I can come up with a picture, I'll put it here. Anyway, Maxima makes a really good, like, motocross style chain lube that I like to use on mine. Get that chain lubed up well so it's performing its best. It's got the least rolling resistance possible. Other than that, how is your chain tension? Do you have that inch or half inch of deflection? That little movement, I say half inch, it may be different for, you know, clones, and it's a longer, but try and keep that chain right in that sweet spot of tight and loose. You don't want a big bellow to it. You know, you don't want that diving down so the chain's jumping all around. You don't want it too tight to, you know, put stress on your bearings or anything, but that right sweet spot. So it rolls nice and free, but it's got really good tension on it. You should really be paying attention to that. Rear axle, is that thing staying steady? Is it moving back and forth? Clutch. You might want to pay attention to your clutch basket. Is that wobbling around too much? Is your clutch fashioned to your engine correctly, your jack shaft, whatever it is? Make sure it's not walking back and forth. There is a reason why your chain popped off. They just don't willy-nilly pop off. It's extremely frustrating. You come out of the corner, and of course I run a two-stroke, so it goes, bing, and it spikes in RPM, makes that high-pitched sound. I'm sure it makes a different sound for a 4-stroke, but that sound where it revs real high and you got no go and you know, oh man, I just lost a chain. Please, do what you can to get your stuff off the track, to get it to the infield, to get it out of the recently. It's unfortunate. We have all been there. It sucks. I know, I kind of said this before, but there's a race going on and you are no longer in it. Please, try to do your best to get out of the way. If your track allows it, get it off the track, put your chain back on. If you think it's going to work, chances are, though, if it happened once, it's going to happen again. Maybe the bolts are loose on your rear hub or something like that, that the gears aren't fashioned on there. These are all things you need to look at, and it's kind of hard to do while karts are pacing around, making sure that everything is where it once should be. Again, it could happen. You could get it back on. You could finish a race, but chances are the reason that it popped off was something a little more than just what you're going to be able to fix on the infield with your helmet and gloves and stuff on. So just a topic I thought I'd like to bring up there. Like I said, there's always new racers coming to this channel. There's new racers that are, or people just getting back into it. Maybe you need your mind jogged a little bit, like, that is a good point. Maybe I shouldn't ruin somebody else's race because mine unfortunately came unraveled with a chain coming off. So there you go, guys. Nice, quick, short, to the point. Thought this was a good video to bring up because it's just one of those things that kind of gets overlooked. I could do all these other videos, and I will do all these other videos, but this is just something that I have seen happen at track. I thought this probably should be addressed in a video, just so new racers have an idea. All right, let's take into considerations other people's days, not just my own. I know it sucks. Again, it's never not gonna suck. If you're not racing, it's gonna suck. It's just the way it is. But please take into consideration other people's equipment, what's going on with them. If your track allows it, get it off track, get your chain put back on, and then come back on, possibly. But chances are, if your chain popped off, something like that, you're probably done for at least that heat race, that feature event for that day, whatever it may be. So, all right, guys, thank you very much for stopping by. And that's kind of a quick way to abruptly, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put this weird interlude into this and then say, thank you very much for stopping by. We will see you in the next video, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.